Hello, everyone. I'm Minister James Moss, and we are back with continuing education. I don't know why I want to keep trying to say community. It's continuing education for the community. Okay, how about that? And we are in the book of Luke. Okay, we're in chapter 20, and we're going to cover verses 20 through 26. So, we're going to get right into this. We're going to jump right to it. It shouldn't be too long. This one is entitled Religious Leaders Question Jesus About Paying Taxes. All right, so I'm going to jump in. Although the religious leaders had been outwitted by Jesus once, they did not give up. They returned with another carefully thought out question to trap him. This new question related to taxation, to pay or not to pay taxes to Rome. If Jesus answered in the affirmative either way, he would be in a predicament. It was a perfect trap, or so the Pharisees thought. Okay. All right, so here we go. All right, and they watched him and sent forth spies, which should feign themselves just men, that they might take hold of his words, that so they might deliver him unto the power and authority of the governor. And they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. Is it lawful for us to give tribute unto Caesar or no? But he perceived their craftiness and said unto them, Why tempt ye me? Show me a penny. Whose image and superscription hath it? Oh boy. They answered and said, Caesar's. And he said unto them, Render therefore unto Caesar the things that be Caesar's, and unto God the things that which be to God, or which be God's. And they could not take hold of his words, because the people and they marveled at his answer and held their peace. All right. And if they was reading from the King James Version, they'd be really confused. I'm just saying, Okay. It's kind of a tongue twister thing in there. All right, here we go. Verse 20. The religious leaders continued their attempts to get Jesus to say something that could be reported to the authorities. They sent secret agents pretending to be honest men. These men addressed Jesus as if he were a mediator, inviting him to settle their dispute regarding whether or not to pay taxes to Caesar. Verses 20 and 21, pretending to be honest men, these spies flattered Jesus before asking him a question that was a hot topic in Palestine at the time. Is it right to pay taxes to the Roman government or not? Obviously, it was lawful according to Caesar, but was it lawful according to God's law? The Jews hated having to pay taxes to Rome. If Jesus said they should pay taxes, they would call him a traitor to their nation and their religion. But if he said they should not, the religious leaders could report him to Rome as a rebel. The crowd waited expectantly for Jesus' answer. Jesus' questioners thought they had him this time, but he outwitted them again. Verses 23 through 25. Jesus asked someone in the crowd to show him a Roman coin. This would have been a silver coin with a picture of the reigning Caesar on it. The tax paid to Rome was paid in these coins. The title referred to Caesar as divine and as chief priest. The Caesars were worshipped as gods by the pagans, so the claim to divinity on the coin itself repulsed the Jews. In addition, Caesar's image on the coin was a constant reminder of Israel's subjection to Rome. Jesus' answer surprised everyone. Give to Caesar what belongs to him, but everything that belongs to God must be given to God. Having a coin meant being part of that country, so citizens should acknowledge the authority of Caesar and pay for the benefits accorded to them by his empire. They would lose much and gain little if they refused to pay Caesar's taxes. Paying the taxes, however, did not have to mean submission to the divinity claimed by the emperor through the inscription on the coins. Caesar had the right to claim their tax money, but he had no claim on their souls. The Jews had a responsibility to give to God what was his. While they lived in the Roman world, the Jews had to face the dual reality of subjection to Rome and responsibility to God. Jesus explained that they could do both if they kept their priorities straight. The tax would be paid as long as Rome held sway over Judea, but God had rights on eternity and their lives. Verse 26, in his reply, Jesus did not show rebellion against Caesar, nor did he show any disloyalty to God in his law. This answer amazed and silenced Jesus' questioners. Their amazement showed that Jesus had been victorious over his opponents. They had tried to trap him, but he stayed one step ahead of them. All right. So again, we learn, in the Gospels, there's that whole question and answer thing, and let's see if we can trip him up. Let's see what we can find to use against him. And this was another failure. Okay, sound like a good thing at the time. And it's one of the things that I want to say about this is that anybody that is slow, quick to speak but slow to think would have answered incorrectly, and created a problem. They would have answered from their heart. Out of their emotions, and rather than out of the spirit or out of the heart. Jesus was like, and the dead giveaway. And I know this is hindsight, but the dead giveaway to me was when they approached him the way that they did, Master, and they laid it. It's just like they laid it on thick, right? We go back to the scripture where it started. It was like, and they asked him, saying, Master, we know that thou sayest and teachest rightly, neither acceptest thou the person of any, but teachest the way of God truly. That was a situation where Jesus was like, flattery is not going to get you anywhere. I see right through that. And a lot of times when people are flattering you, they're setting you up. Okay? Just think about that. Not always, because there's some flattery that people genuinely see. And I don't call that flattery. I call that a recognition of who you are when they are truthful about what and that their heart has always been on the level with you. But if it's somebody that you don't even know, or that has been against you, trying to trip you up, set you up, or whatever, then when the flattery come here, what's about to follow next. But Jesus saw right through that, and we need to learn how to see right through that as well. So this was a great little short lesson. Even though it was about paying taxes, there's more involved in it. Render unto Caesar what is Caesar, or render unto your governments what is, due to your governments, but render unto God what is God's. So look, until next time, God bless you. God keep you, and thank you for supporting this ministry. And always keep studying.